Cooper and our first day of class. We've got a couple of videos here to play and take a little viewing of it. This is the 60th anniversary of NASA. It was created in 1958, and you'll kind of notice that our shirts kind of have a space theme. We are designated after one of the astronauts, Gordon Cooper. So we're going to play a short video, and then we're going to play another little video behind it as we introduce our faculty. I hope from this first video you'll get a little inspiration. The gentleman who's speaking I know quite well, some of you may not, but it's President Kennedy, and it's his speech that kind of inspired a nation to achieve a lot of things that we didn't think were possible, and we hope that will be the same thing for you in your life here this year at Gordon Cooper. So if you'll just sit tight, we'll get this started here in just a second.
We meet in an hour of change and challenge, in a decade of hope and fear, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds. No man can fully grasp how far and how fast we have come. But condense, if you will, the 50,000 years of man's recorded history in a time span of but a half a century. Stated in these terms, we know very little about the first 40 years, except at the end of them, advanced man had learned to use the skins of animals to cover them. Then about 10 years ago, under this standard, man emerged from his caves to construct other kinds of shelter. Only 5 years ago, man learned to write and use a cart with wheels. Christianity began less than 2 years ago. The printing press came this year. And then less than 2 months ago, during this whole 50-year span of human history, the steam engine provided a new source of power. Newton explored the meaning of gravity. Last month, electric lights and telephones and automobiles airplanes became available. Only last week did we develop penicillin and television and nuclear power. This is a breathtaking pace, and such a pace cannot help but create new ills as it dispels old. So it is not surprising that some would have us stay where we are a little longer, to rest, to wait. If this capsule history of our progress teaches us anything, it is that man in his quest for knowledge and progress is determined and cannot be deterred. We shall send to the moon, 240,000 miles away, a giant rocket more than 300 feet tall on an untried mission to an unknown celestial body, and then return it safely to Earth. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone. And therefore, as we set sail, we ask God's blessing on the most hazardous and dangerous greatest adventure on which man has ever embarked.
Gordon Cooper Technology Center students, are you ready to launch your future? It's now time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. You're ready for your future to launch your career. And to help you launch your career, I'd like to introduce to you the launch crew for 2018-19 school year. From the Aviation Campus, Austin Beard. From the Automotive Service Technician Instructor on the Shawnee Campus, Tony Brackett. Your Integrated Math Instructor, Becky Brindley. Your Pre-Engineering Chemistry Instructor, Aaron Breshbaum. Your Collision Repair Tech Instructor, Mark Chapman. Your Pre-Engineering Instructor, Algebra 2 and Calculus, Jenny Crouch. Applied Welding Instructor, Mr. Joe Curtis. The EEC Learning Consultant, Carolyn Dobring. Next we have Electrical Trades Instructor, Daryl Furwick. Pre-Engineering Instructor, Algebra 2 and Physics, Sue Ellen Furwick. From the Seminole Campus, Pamela Fry, Cosmetology Instructor. High School Counselor, Jessica Cabot. Network Systems Tech Instructor, Kevin Gober. From the Aviation Campus, Lead Teacher and High School Aviation Instructor, Amy Harden. From the Aviation Campus, Robert Hanson, Airframe Instructor. Applied Math Instructor and Aviation Math Instructor, Courtney Hauser. From the Seminole Campus, Health Careers Instructor, Lisa Johnson. From our own campus right here on Shawnee, the Diesel Technical Adult Instructor, Ed Jolly. Computer Graphic Design Instructor, Gay Ketchum. Early Child Care Instructor, Gary Laxton. Adult Counselor, Jay Loudon. On the Seminole Campus, Digital Media Instructor, Betty Lawrence. Health Careers Instructor from Shawnee, Megan Melber. From the Automotive Program on the Seminole Campus, Rick McClure. Math Instructor, Donna Nickel. High School Diesel Instructor, Carlos Pena. Heat and Air Instructor from the Shawnee Campus, Jerry Pickering. Early Care and Child Infant Toddler Instructor, Ivy Poe. Preschool Instructor, Taylor Sanders. Free Engineering Elliot Schuler. Precision Machining Instructor. Pre-Engineering Instructor, Paul Smiddlecopper. Assistant Child Care Director, Cindy Stanbach. Precision Machining Instructor, Dipsy Taylor. And last but not least, the Business Education Technology Instructor, Jessica Utter. Let's give all of them a round of applause for your launch team.
Would you guys give another round of applause to your launch team? Mr. Ferris and Mr. Matlock, and I'm guessing Mr. Hoffmeyer, did you help with that? Yeah, that was really good. That's the first time we've ever done something like that, so they did a really great job. Before Mr. Wiles comes down, he's going to talk to you guys about some things that you need to know for beginning of the year. But all the second-year students, is there something different that you notice about this area? Aren't they so comfortable and nice? We sure do want to keep this place like that. It's something we're really proud of, worked really hard on to get it ready for the beginning of school. So let's make sure that we remind people of that, not put your feet up on stuff and all that, like we've taken care of the break area. Just remind your neighbor. Mr. Wiles, are you waiting for the spotlight, or? I'm sorry, I don't have any music. Mr. Wiles is the IT director. He's really a nice guy, so.
I'm not going to stand behind that podium. Good morning. My name is Matt. I'm the IT director, so I just want to take a few minutes and give you some things that you might need to know to kind of help you get started with tech around at Gordon Cooper. So I'm just going to run through a few things, hold all your applause till the end, and then I'll accept it all at that time. So login info. When you get into your rooms, almost all of our classrooms have computers. You're going to need to know how to log into them. So your login names are all the same. It's first name dot last name. Not the actual words first name and last name, but your first name and a dot and then your last name. So that's how you log into the computers. Your instructor will be able to give you the default password for new students. If you were here last year, your password is the same as it was when you left. If you have any problems logging into your accounts, you need to go through your instructor. They will be able to create a ticket in my system, and we'll get it fixed for you, okay? To connect to our Wi-Fi, which you all want to, right? No? Okay. I'll turn it off. Don't worry. Wi-Fi login, use your username, so first name dot last name, not the words first name and last name, your first name and your last name, okay? And connect to GCTC-Wi-Fi. Okay, so GCTC Wi-Fi, use your login name and your password. That'll get you connected for the year, and you won't have to reconnect. And then you can use Wi-Fi to your heart's desire. Your email address. Anybody want to guess what it is? Somebody. Crowd participation. It is first name dot last name, and it's actually the words first name dot last name. No, kidding, not. It's your first name and your last name. We did switch our email system this year, so if you were here last year, you had to log in using Outlook or use the Outlook webpage. We don't use Outlook anymore. We're using Google now. So to check your mail, you can go to Google, like you would with a personal Google account, and log in using your first name dot your last name at gctech.edu. Okay? So go to Google, log in with those username, password that you use for the computer, and that'll get you access to your email. You can add that onto your phones. You can check it at home, whatever it is that you would like to do with your email. I want to talk to you for just a quick second about E-Rate. At some point today, you're going to get a form that I need you to fill out. You like using the Wi-Fi because you want to Snapchat and Facebook and whatever else it is you guys do. So if you want Wi-Fi and you want internet access, we use E-Rate funding to pay for that. And so we can't get E-Rate funding unless you return this form that you're going to get today. So I need you to take the form. I need you to complete it. I need you to bring it back. If you don't do that, then Wi-Fi will be much sadder later this year. Much sadder, okay? So you like Wi-Fi, I want to give it to you, bring me the form back, please. Internet usage policy, you should have access to a student handbook. We have District Policy 118. That sounds horribly boring, and I hope that it is, because I hope that you are complying with it. You should be very aware of the fact that we have policies that dictate what you can and cannot do when you're connected to the internet at Gordon Cooper. So whether that's with your device on the Wi-Fi or whether it's on one of our computers, we have policies of what you can and cannot do. So you should familiarize yourself with it so that you know that you are in compliance with said policy. We monitor all traffic at Gordon Cooper. I just sit in my office all day and watch what you guys are doing because I have nothing better to do than to do so. And you guys do some weird stuff. So let's not do that this year. We're monitoring all traffic, whether you're on your phone, on the public Wi-Fi, whether you're logged into the computer. We monitor traffic. When you do something you shouldn't, it takes screenshots and sends them directly to me. When I get those, I'll be visiting your instructor to say, look what so-and-so was doing, and have actual screenshots and screen recordings of that activity. So, mind your manners. Don't do things that you shouldn't do so that I don't get to have that conversation with your instructor. All right? This is great. They said I could just talk as long as I wanted, so I'm just going to keep going. Your username, first name dot last name. Not the words first name and last name, but your first name and last name. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for your attention. You may now give me the applause.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a couple of things, and then we're going to do a couple of activities, like people go get on the bus and you guys go to lunch. But you guys have a PowerSchool login for students and parents, so you can look at your grades. We're going to get those to you next week. But that's how you need to look at your progress reports, your 9 weeks grades. You need to be keeping up with those things. We're not going to send out those reports anymore. So you need to take a picture of the card that we're going to give you or that we email you. We're going to do a lot less paper, so take a lot of pictures with your phone. When we ask you to fill out your, if you drive, your parking, take a picture of your license plate and fill out the form. So when you come in and it's not on the form, it's on your phone. That happens all the time. We're going to pass those out today after the bus riders leave. If you did not send forms into us this year, we're going to take those up tomorrow in the break area. You don't need to bring them to student services. You don't need to give them to your instructor. All the forms we're going to take, there'll be a table out in the break area. So everybody will turn those in at this same place. Mr. Matlock, did you want to say anything about the buses?
Yes, we will be releasing right now. Just, are you finished? Are you ready for the early bus riders to head on out?
I need you to come out this door over here, and I'm going to hand you an E-rate form that Matt referenced. You need to fill that out and bring it back, because we're keeping up with who turns them in. Even, you just need to bring it back. So
So our early bus